What's up guys, Derek, replacementreads.com. Today we are going to be talking about my face, actually. This is not something that comes up a lot, but I thought it was a good, maybe it'll get views, I don't know. It's definitely a subject that comes up infrequently, and I'll see it here and there maybe every 5,000 comments, there'll be one guy who's like, what happened to your face? Because you'll notice sometimes when I talk, it's a bit more lopsided in one direction than the other. When I smile or when I talk, it's not like my eyebrows don't move symmetrically or anything. It's more so like my mouth and my cheek area that seems to be a bit, when I talk, you'll notice sometimes it's more disproportionately moving than the other side. I think part of that is just patterns that I've adopted over the years. But in addition to that, something that a lot of people don't know, some people, they'll ask me do you have a stroke or what happened? And the reality is, and this is a good, story, because a lot of people ask me about my bouncer days and sort of what I used to do before, I was online and stuff like that. One of the jobs I had before I was online was I was a bouncer downtown. And one of the scenarios that happened was sometimes, you have rowdy fucking dudes that you have to throw outside, or you have to, kick out or whatever. And every now and again you get into a scuffle. And there was one scuffle in particular where it was time to close up for the night. And, one guy just didn't like me and wasn't really happy with me telling him to leave and whatnot. And I ended up getting sucker punched in the face. And this was the first one. I don't even know if it was the first or the second, but the first one obviously dazed me. I was sort of half knocked out and half not. And I was still standing. And then he came back and hit me a second time, and that one knocked me out. And then I fell on the floor. And when I woke up, my cheekbone was fractured. And I basically had to go to the hospital, and they basically said, you can either get surgery to get it put back into place, or you can deal with an asymmetrical cheekbone essentially. So I was like, okay, fuck. Well, once the longer you leave it, the more it's gonna settle. So you kind of have to make a decision pretty quick on what you want to do. So I went under the knife and basically got it put back into place where it was. And in that process, I think it killed some nerves that otherwise in that area, because it just seems too coincidental that that's the one part that seems to be disproportionate in terms of its lack of movement. You know what I mean? So that is my assumption. There was no stroke. There was no anything like that. For me, it was literally, as far as I know, this event that happened, and basically it led to I don't know, some permanent nerve damage to some extent. Because I also have the ear I fell on is actually still to this date, when I wear headphones after a certain amount of time, it just starts hurting, and it's just the way it fits is different now. So it doesn't fit headphones properly anymore. So I don't know if it's from that. That's what I assume it's from, because it didn't seem to have the issue before that. And frankly, I don't even really notice this stuff until people are very, very observant on YouTube, and they will dissect every single thing they see as if it's their fucking full-time job. So, not a lot of people. I've literally seen maybe 15, 20 people over the years comment here and there. And, I notice it sometimes when I see these comments, and I'm in the back of my head, I'm that'd be a good topic to address one day, because presumably they're wondering, and maybe more people are wondering. They just haven't commented it. So anyways, that is maybe a good segue into some bouncer stories in the future. But that was the notable event that actually transitioned me to working online, because when I had that fracture and had to get the subsequent surgery to get it put back in place, I actually screwed up my leg when I fell, and that was actually way more substantial of a problem than the cheek thing, because for me it was the leg had filled up with blood because of the way I fell on it. It was really weird. I had internal bleeding to the point where I basically had to wait for my body to reabsorb all the blood. And it was if you saw my video about that bad quad injection from way back in the day, it was that same area just refilled with blood for no reason. It was the way I fell on it was really weird. I don't know what happened on that, but basically I had to wait months for it to reabsorb all the blood into the leg. And I was basically sitting there with a hyperextended leg for 2 months. So I was basically okay, well, I might as well start writing and recording stuff. So that's sort of how I started doing online stuff. And then I just never went back to bouncing after that, to be honest. So that is the story about how I fucked up my cheek. So I don't know, have the nerves, are they regenerating? Did they regenerate already? I don't really know, to be honest. I haven't really looked into it, because frankly, after that surgery and I healed up, I just never really thought about it again until, I see some of these comments here or there. So maybe that's the case, but either way, kind of a good segue into some of my stories, a lot of people are always asking me for like, yo, like do more content about the more dates component of your channel. And I'm like, I often neglect that part of my channel. And I think this could be a good segue into discussing that stuff because it is obviously highly requested. So like those videos actually do pretty well when they go up, and you guys seem to appreciate it, or at least a certain portion of my audience. And if the guys who hate the hair loss stuff can suffer through those videos and stay subscribed, then presumably a lot of you other guys are going to be able to sit through some of the dating stuff and be fine and stay subscribed too. So some more of that content coming in the near future. So some of the date content and the PUA shit from back in the old days, the bouncing and stuff like that. So thank you guys for watching. Please like, subscribe, check out my blog, moreplatesmoredates.com. Follow me on Instagram at moreplates_moredates, Facebook, Snapchat, BitChute, Twitter, TikTok, Apple Podcasts. If you want to support the channel, you can check out anything I am associated with in the video description down below. My TRT clinic, it's all telemedicine from the comfort of your own home, as well as Gorilla Mind, Gorilla Mode, my turnkey nootropic and pre-workout formulas I designed from scratch myself. I encourage you to just go to your cupboard, pull out your current pre-workout, look at the label, compare it to the label on Gorilla Mode, compare it to the label on Gorilla Mode Nitric, compare it to the label on Gorilla Mode Stim. And, you know, I try to be pretty transparent about why I think ours are head and shoulders above the rest of the industry. And like, I think the labels kind of speak for themselves. So if you have not tried it, I encourage you to give it a shot. I do not think you will be disappointed. And anything else I am associated with is in the video description down below. So thank you guys for watching. Talk to you soon.